I'm Lisa Silverbrand from Recreated Designs, and you're watching Hometalk. So to get started with our project, what we want to do is take our foam pumpkins and we're going to remove these stems. So we're going to pop these right out. They just come right out like that. We're going to start with these, and because these are foam on the inside, I want to start just playing with my pumpkins and pushing down the foam. You can see that it's quite easy to push down there, and what I'm doing is just leveling out my pumpkin. I want them nice and level, so if there's any bits that stick up, just push them down, just play with it like this until you have them pretty flat. And what we're going to do is stack these on top of each other, so that's why we want them to be nice and flush and flat like that. Now what we're going to do is use our plates from the thrift store here, and it doesn't matter what they look like or what they're made out of, to create our cake stand. So we're going to take this plate, the smaller one, and we're going to actually turn it upside down. So we've got our two plates, our two pumpkins, and we're going to use epoxy. The reason I use epoxy is because it sticks to any surface. Okay, now that it's ready to mix, I'm going to put a nice generous portion on the bottom of my plate here. And I want to make sure that this is going to stick really well, so I'm going to put a nice portion there. You can see the epoxy, and it mixes as it comes out. And I'm going to take my pumpkin and just stick it to the bottom of my plate. And then all you need to do is leave it and let that epoxy dry. Don't worry if your pumpkin isn't quite level still, because you can play around with that foam once it's attached to your plate. Now that I've let my two sides sit for just a minute so that the epoxy starts to dry, I want to put my two sides together to form my cake plate. So I've got my pumpkins right in the middle here, and they're still a little movable, but they're starting to dry. And I want to again put a nice generous portion of the epoxy and mix it up to each side of the pumpkin here. And then I'm going to attach my two sides together. So I've got my bigger side, and I'm just going to attach this one. For this cake plate, I'm going to go ahead and give it a nice metallic finish. I want to use some really nice moody metallic colors for my fall decor. So I'm going to start with this beautiful bronze paint, and it is lovely. It's going to stick beautifully to my cake plate, and all I need to do now is paint the whole thing. I'm going to paint the underneath as well. I want it to cover all the surfaces here. With the bronze layer done, I've created some beautiful texture. I've covered up all of those patterns on the thrift store plates, and I've tied my piece together. Now I want to take a little bit of gold. It's like a gold pearl metallic paint, and I'm going to just lighten this up a bit and give it some highlights. Here you have our beautiful fall pumpkin-inspired cake plate using thrift store plates and some pumpkins from the dollar store. I hope you like this project and are inspired to make something for your decor this fall. I'm Lisa from Recreated Designs. Thank you for watching Home Talk, and I'll see you next time.